we got idea about paper 1, 2, and 3. Now I will go to paper 4. Like in paper 4 there are 7 section. Out of 7 section I have to choose 2 section, and on that I have to answer the all thing. So here two question I will ask to Sutapati. Like one is like how to choose the 2 section. Like should I go for scoring section or should I go for like theoretical part, which I am in comfort. And second part is should I really say select two, or I have to have an backup of, I have to choose 3 topic and prepare on 3 topic and go for 2. So what is your view on this, on these two things?
I have personally prepared only two topics because
Okay.
it is very difficult to revise the 3 topics as well as paper 3 and paper 4
Mhm.
before the night of the exam. So I personally prepared
Okay.
2 chosen SQC and Vital because I thought there are enough study material for those.
Mhm.
Like in graduation also I have studied SQC and Vital. So I have
Okay.
chosen those topics. Rest of the topics I did not have much study material, so I have skipped those and opted for those two. So I think
Okay.
one should previously take the question paper, know the
Mhm.
detailed syllabus, and then choose their comfortable topics, like the topics which they are comfortable in, or where much listed study material are available, or the whether the answers of the previously asked questions, whether he or she can solve the previously asked questions.
Mhm.
Accordingly, one can choose those topics.
Okay. Okay. Orko, anything to add?
Yeah, the same thing that one has to be very much comfortable before choosing any subject. But there is 100 marks for every topic,
Mhm.
so it is huge. One has to be very comfortable and confident enough. And talking about the 3 topics, I have seen many people who have covered 3 topics, but this
Mhm.
is only about the capability. For my case, I have covered only 2 topics because I think it is
Okay.
very much difficult to revise those 3 huge topics before
Mhm.
the exam days. So
You're right.
that's all.
Okay. Okay. And can you say about the about little bit of that cutoff marks, like how much marks I have to achieve that to clear that interview, to go for interview, right? And one thing, and another thing is in cutoff marks, suppose there are 450 cutoff marks, and in that cutoff mark, what is the distribution, like what is the percentage of English for a particular candidate? What should be the target number? That how much I have to achieve in paper 1, have to achieve in paper 2, or in English or GS. Give a little idea on that. Or start from you.
Okay, so talking about the cutoff marks for our year, there were only 11 seats, so the competition was really high.
Mm-hmm.
So for my case, the presumed cutoff marks was 500.
Okay.
I have considered it to be a cut.
Mm-hmm.
So usually 460, 470. Look, it is not. It is only not about cutoff marks because the marks obtained from written exam,
Mm-hmm.
it will be added after interview
Okay.
exam also.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So this is not only about cutoff.
Mm.
So the more marks you will secure from written exam, the more comfortable position you will get in
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
I mean, if the interview doesn't go well, so it will compensate from written exam.
No, right.
So
Right.
this is the thing. And talking about the paper-wise part, I guess the MCQ part are most scoring. It is very scoring because the scores, I guess 2.5 from each question.
Mm-hmm.
So if one get 250 from 2 papers, 2 MCQ papers, I think one will get a very good position to clear this exam.
Okay.
And talking about the English and GS, English, I guess 45 to 50 is a very good score. And Shrutabhalti has also covered that English part, that vocabulary, because
Mm-hmm.
I guess 30 marks is from the vocabulary and grammar part, and that one can uh, find that easy because five vocabularies are there, 10 marks total. So if one can get those 10 marks, so there will be a very good chance to get 50 marks in overall from English.
Okay.
And
Okay.
talking about GS, it is a very difficult thing to say, but 20 to 25 marks, I guess it will be an average thing to clear this exam. One has to get. And the paper 3 and paper 4, it is a very subjective paper, so one cannot say that what
Mm-hmm.
should be the cutoff marks and what should be the presumed marks, because after giving a very good paper, one has not get that much marks. It has the scenario in 2020. So it is a very subjective thing. So I think MCQ papers should be focused more. If
Mm-hmm.
250 to 260 can be obtained from those from those papers, it is very easy to clear this.
So my target should be the around 500 I have to attain, and I have to get. And on that note, I have to distribute that number. I have to distribute the target based on my capability, where I am comfort or not. That thing. Acha, one thing I would ask from Sutapati, that I have mentioned earlier, I didn't mention earlier that Sutapati also a WBCS, he cleared WBCS exam. So can you say something about that? Like this exam help you in this exam also? That
Yes,
W.
I had a statistics as an optional in WB. I
Okay.
had statistics as an optional subject in WBCS. So the syllabus was almost the same. Like in WBCS, we have to write all the answers that are supposed to be in descriptive nature. And here we are getting objective as well as descriptive. So in WBCS, I have my statistics, and since all the topics are quite similar, so it had helped me a lot.
Okay. Okay. So all the papers we have completed. Now I will go to interview part. So I will ask from both of you, like what are the interview? How should I prepare for interview part? And one thing I know that for interview, before interview I have to fill a form, and in that form that mentioning your hobby is also a very important thing. So how to fill that part, and what is the interview? How to prepare for interview? And your interview experience of that particular day. Sutapati, starts from you. Hello.
First
Mhm.
of all, one has to fill the detailed application form very carefully, and one shouldn't lie about it. Like if your hobby is like my hobby is swimming, so I have mentioned swimming as my hobby, and the interview board has also asked me questions about swimming. Like my interview was held in July, so Olympics was going on at that time, so they have asked me questions about Indian swimmers and their positions in the Olympics. So one
Okay.
shouldn't lie about the hobbies, and one should prepare the hobby very carefully, like the current affairs related to the hobby portion.
Mhm.
Then what are the perspective in Indian respect? Like they've asked me, how can we improve know about their hobby really well, like the theoretical knowledge as well as the practical knowledge. Then the schooling portion, and we have to know about the details of our district. Then if we have a job experience, we need to be very clear about the job. uh, like I used to work in SBI, so they have asked me about the history of SBI, my work experience in SBI. So this is it. And also statistic portion is equally very important.
Okay. Okay. Can you share a little bit
Why
of?
IS?
Mhm. Can you please share a little of your experience on that particular day? How was it?
Okay, my interview was held on July. It got
Mhm.
postponed due to COVID, and
Okay.
my chairman of my board is the answer. So initially there were total 5 members. 5 members. So chairman sir asked me about what's the role of ISI. Then why do you want to join ISS? Then one board member asked me about my hobby, like swimming. Like I said,
Mhm.
importance of swimming. Then the ongoing Olympics. Then he also asked me about my job experience in SBI, like how I have managed issues that I faced there. Then one has completely asked about about the subject. Like they have asked me, how can you estimate number of COVID beds? And
Okay.
general statistical topics like three sigma limits, estimation, sampling theory, and official statistics, CPI, WPI, those things. And the other member had asked me about like, if you are an administrator, what are the fields you would like to work on? What are the fields you would like to improve? Then Atmanirbhar Bharat, then importance of women, uh, not importance of women, how can we improve women's sports?
Okay.
Then mm, this is I could all remember for now.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Also from your side, what was your experience and how did you prepare for interview?
Okay, so as Sutapa said that there are current affairs part,
Mm-hmm.
statistics part, and general knowledge, and core statistics part also.
Okay.
So okay, so for these things, if I'm going to cover all these things one by one, talking about the GS, all the current affairs should be covered at least last 2 to 3 weeks, especially. And
Okay.
I would suggest to read Hindu or Indian Express, any of the renowned newspaper daily, at least for 2 3 weeks,
Okay.
because it will be very much probable that the question will come from that. And talking about statistics part,
Mm-hmm.
it should be very much layman language. The answer should be in very much layman language. There should not be any such statistical term,
Mm-hmm.
big thing like uh, technical term like pi, theta. These should not be uh, these should be appreciated, because most of the persons are not from statistical background.
Right.
So it has to be in the layman language. And talking about the official statistics part, one has to follow the recent published report. Like
Mm-hmm.
for our case, the National Family Health Survey 5. So any type of recent published report that should be covered. And these are the things I guess. I think already all the things has been covered.
Okay. 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 Thank you. Thank you. Like we got an idea and we got an idea on interview part also. So we from starting from that English, GS and paper one, paper two, all these things we got an answer. And one thing that is repeating all the interview, that is practice. We have to practice a lot for this exam. We have to write a lot. That is the main thing we have to do, and go through the syllabus from website and go through the previous year question paper, follow the pattern, so see the pattern and practice on that, practice a lot. That is the thing. So thank you.
Okay, the
And
only thing that I
Mhm.
have forgot. Okay,
Sorry.
sorry.
Mhm.
That is the hobby.
Okay.
That hobby part, anything that you will put in your hobby, you
Mhm.
have to prepare for that part, because a lot of questions can be asked in from
Right.
any type of thing, like from it can be yoga, it can be photography, it can be anything. A lot of questions, and one can search it from Google also.
Okay.
There are some list of questions that can be asked in
Mhm.
interview, and that should be prepared beforehand.
Okay. Okay. So one final tips from both of you for the junior who are going to appear in the exam, and one final tips. Orko from you.
Practice, do practice, that's all. Be practice, be confident, be honest in interview.
Okay. Sutobading.
Yes, I will also add, I will also say the same thing. Practice hard, and the more questions you solve, the more ideas you will get. And when we are practicing, keep a time bound, and
Right.
fill the gap very carefully, and don't lie anything about in the interview board. And also don't mention anything that is not that has not happened to you in the DAP form.
Okay.
So
Okay.
please be true to yourself while filling the form.
Okay. Got it. Got it. So that's it. That's it. Thank you. Thank you for both of you, like for giving us time, giving me time for this interview and on from your busy schedule. Thanks a lot. I hope this will be helpful for the students who are appearing for ISS this year. Thanks a lot. Thanks again for your time. Thanks. So that's it for the day, and we will come on another day with another interview question, another preparation. That's it. Goodbye.